I'll move on. So, Phone 7 is going to be available to every OEM that is part of the Microsoft piece. So you might say to me, Paul, why would I want to go out and buy a Nokia device? What makes Nokia different? There are several things from a hardware perspective that make Nokia different. So I talked a little bit about the hardware earlier. Didn't mention the camera. I'm sure Dave or one of the guys next door can mention the camera. We've got great imaging history inside Nokia. Start with the N95, for example, move all the way up to the N8, best smartphone camera, fact. It really is. We actually made a video all filmed on the N8, cut it together, have a look on YouTube. It's called The Commuter, and it was all filmed on an N8. So we really do have excellent imaging qualities. But what else makes Nokia different? So let me have a look and just dig into some of the differentiators. So we've got 5 of them. And I'll start with some of the things, accessories that go with the device. Again, on the stand, we've got some of these accessories. Monster headset, so really good audio when you're on the move. The Play 360 speakers. These speakers are really, really awesome. Tiny little dome-shaped, cylindrical speakers. They're Bluetooth, and you can pair the 2 of them together to get really great audio sound. We've got car kit solutions, we've got in-ear solutions, we've got covers. One of the devices that I've got has a cover on it. So it's not just about the device itself, it's not about the operating system, it's about the whole ecosystem, and that includes some of the stylish enhancements that we've got. So continuing the amazing everyday. So some of the 5 differentiators that we've got, I'll just dig into now. So for example, if you've got a fruit-based product, or you've got a robot-based product and you wanted to transfer to 7.5, you can. Simply with Nokia, we've got this thing called contacts transfer. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Nokia Drive, full turn-by-turn navigation. If you've experienced this on a Symbian device, you'll have exactly the same experience on the Windows Phone 7 device, the Lumia 800. And also a second device that we launched. So Stephen said to us, guys, you're going to be launching 1 phone this year. No, you're not. You're going to be launching 2 phones this year. And we have. We've got the Lumia 800, and we've also got the Lumia 710. So Drive will also be on both devices, full turn-by-turn navigation, and the maps are free. You can download those over Wi-Fi. Another differentiator is Nokia Maps. This is one of our key things that we brought to this wonderful partnership of Microsoft and Nokia. So you can find what's around you, local relevance. I'll dig into maps a little bit later, but that's one of the key differentiators that we'll have on device from launch. Nokia Music, this is great. I'm a big music fan. Some would say, because I'm a drummer, some would say, well, Paul, you're not really a real musician, you're a drummer, because there's a musicians union and a drummers union, and that's not really fair. But I am a drummer, and I am a big fan of music, and Nokia Music brings something really cool to the table. And then, last by no means least, Nokia App Highlights. This is a simple application where we will work with operators to locally bring applications to the surface, both global and local applications. For example, BBC News. I've got a friend who lives in Woodstock, Virginia. He's not really got any relevancy to use BBC News, so another equivalent news app would come to the surface for him, say CNN News or Channel 5 News or whatever. But that's a local relevant app that would be brought to the surface for him. So, like I say, contacts transfer does exactly what it says on the tin. Be it a fruit-based product, be it a robot-based product, it really doesn't matter. As long as you've got Bluetooth, you can transfer your contacts to get up and running with a Nokia Lumia 800. Secondly, Nokia Drive, turn-by-turn navigation. I drove to a colleague's house yesterday and simply used Nokia Drive. I've never ever been to a house before, so typed in her postcode. Driving along the road, and bless her, she lives on this road called New Road. And there was a couple of roads just before that, and I thought, I know where I'm going. I will turn down the first new road that I saw, which wasn't what Nokia Drive had said. Stupidly, I got lost. So, from that story, always trust Nokia Drive. So, full turn-by-turn navigation. This is a global solution. We've mapped a number of countries, mapped a number of cities, and all that is available to you and your business and your friends on the Nokia Lumia 800. And this is only available on the Nokia with Windows Phone platform. This is typically what the Drive UI looks like. So for example, you set your destination. Once you've fired up the application, you will then start navigation, and then you will go turn by turn to then get to your destination. Nokia Maps, wonderful this is. So for example, if I've traveled to Germany, I want to go and get a coffee, I'll fire up Nokia Maps and I'll see what coffee shops there are around me. And in this particular example, there's a coffee shop here, Balzac Coffee Shop. And I can see just on the screen here, there's a number of Balzac coffee shops. And what I can do is I can dig into any one of those and I can have a look at where they are, their opening hours, for example, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. I can also see photos and reviews of this particular coffee house. And then, of course, with Nokia Maps, I can then navigate my way to that particular coffee shop. Top apps. So this is where Nokia would work with operators to bring to the surface locally relevant apps for the country that the device is in. So I talked a little bit about my friend Alan, who lives in Woodstock, Virginia, BBC News. That's relevant to me. That would be pretty much irrelevant to him. Whereas something like CNN or News 5, News 7, whatever it is, will be relevant to him. Nokia Music with mixed radio. I really love this. So what you will have on this is Nokia Music. This sits side by side and integrates beautifully with Zune. There are over 15 million tracks in the Nokia Music Store. There's just about 10 million tracks in Zune, and both of them will integrate seamlessly and beautifully on your device. But if you're into music, a little bit like I am, and you just fancy listening to something new, you would fire up mixed radio. Mixed radio, inside that, again, go and have a look at some of the demos with Dave and the team outside. But with Nokia Mixed Radio, what you can do is you can simply fire up the application and you can dig into certain genres. So for example, let's take dance. I would dig into that genre. Then I would move into a different subgenre. Let's take house, for example. And house would be streamed to my device either over Wi-Fi or over 3G, and I can consume as much of that as my heart is fit. However, what I can do, we all know about streaming, but what I can do with this is I can download that stream so it's offline and it's relevant on my device. So I can have that as offline content and I can listen to that. Okay, well I can listen to all sorts of offline content, Paul. How is this different? I get to keep this content on my device for up to 4 weeks. Not just one channel, but I can have any one of these 4 channels from the genres or subgenres on my device. They're 3.5 hours each, so that's best part of 14 hours worth of free music that I can keep on my device for a month. How cool is that? Not again. Something else that I've got as well is inside Nokia Music, I've also got a gig finder. Now the device knows exactly where it is. There's a GPS on board the device and it will connect to 3G or Wi-Fi and it will work out where it is in the world. With that, I get to find out where local gigs are. And I can see when they're playing, I can see who's playing. I can then navigate to that destination. A little bit before that, what I can do is I can actually purchase tickets online through the device, through Gig Finder, a whole end-to-end solution from me, starting with what gigs have I got around me, to then seeing one of my favorite bands at a gig locally in Gateshead. On that note, I would like to end just by saying thank you very much for your time. I just want to play you this last piece, but please do spend some time, go and see Dave and the rest of the guys, and they'll be able to spend one-on-one time with you, really bringing the device to life much more than I could do here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for letting us experience together some of the amazing everyday things that both Microsoft and Nokia pull together for your business and also for you. On that note, Chris, thank you very much indeed.